Good morning, everyone. This is Mary, also known as Sunny Love, with you once again. I wanted to say, as you know, we started out with me reading a few verses from my Robbed of a Childhood Raped by the System, first book I ever wrote. And I wanted to thank you guys again for those of you who have subscribed, those of you who have liked the page, and those of you who have left comments. I chose for today's topic, you are not what they did to you. One of the hardest things I ever learned was to stop blaming myself for what others did. Stop wearing the shame for what had happened. You are not the abuse you survived. You're not. You are not the lies they told about you either. You are not the labels they tried to put on you. You are one whole, powerful person who deserves love, peace, and healing. There comes a time in our lives when we have to continue to say, I've had enough. And I got to the end of myself one day. And when I got to the end of myself, I was sick and tired of just being tired. And what do you do at that point? Well, for me, I started doing the research. I started finding out why I behaved at times some of the way I did. Sometimes it seemed so automatic. I just react. And then I started reading information about there's space between the stimulus and the response. And I had to really think about that. For some people, you have that comfort. For others, that comfort is not even a possibility. It depends on the household you were reared in, how you were raised, how you were spoken to, if you were told to be seen but not heard, or if you were told, you know what, baby, you did something wrong. And let's sit down and talk about maybe how we could do this a little different next time, or maybe why we should try doing it different the next time would help. You see, when you grow up in households where you're hollering and screaming at the kids or at one another, it becomes a little chaotic. And I had to learn the difference between chaos and calming down, between screaming and having dialogue. There's a difference. And I've done victim offender dialogue facilitation for over 14 years. I practiced that craft inside corrections and outside it with people. But first, I had to practice on myself. And when we learn how to start taking care of ourselves and start acting in different realms, things change and you feel more powerful or empowered. Knowledge is power, and the word says, my people suffer because of a lack of knowledge. But with that lack, and even with the knowledge we have, get an understanding. Not always, why did that happen to me? Or why? I learned how to become an advocate. And learning how to become an advocate taught me a lot of things about mannerisms and behaviors and how to check myself. And as I've been sharing with you guys, breathing was one of those ways. Okay, so I don't ever want you to have what people did to you define who we become, because it is up to us now to begin to hear and feed ourselves a different language. And I'm here to help you through that and with that. See, for me, knowledge doesn't have to cost everything. But power is something we need to obtain. And power comes in many forms. If you believe you're nothing, we become nothing. If we believe we're somebody, then let's start defining who that somebody is. You have that right. And I wanted to say, I'm not going to make it long because I know people like quick fixes. But I'm not a quick fix. I'm 20 years deep in what I do, how I do it, and why I understand why I do what I do the way I do it. And I need to help whoever I can get to that level as well. Thank you for taking care of yourself. Thank you for loving yourself. Thanking you for having the desire to come on with me each and every day. Let's get empowered and let's be busy about our business, not somebody else's. That takes too much energy. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. I hope this message said something for you. Have a great day. You matter. I love you. In Christ Jesus, I want to say, because I do. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.